Guys, another mouse sighting! And he just walks past the food. Maybe I need to put it in a more obvious spot because it's not really raining today. And one of the plumarias is on the ground. I need to go get it and see if I can press it somehow. Mal, where did you go? Where are we going? Like, where are they going? Good morning. Oh, look at you. Hi. Gosh, this is such a beautiful cat. It's just so fun to see it popping up in our grasses like this. Where are you going? Ooh, look at you. Hi. There's some food out if you want it, but you look like you're perfectly fine and well fed. Chips is of the belief that this is not a pregnant cat, and you know, seeing it move around, I'm gonna agree, it just looks so fat. All the cats here have the tiniest heads and the fattest little bodies. It's kind of amazing. Well, I see that nose going. We'll have to see if this Mao, who a lot of you guys are totally in love with because it is a tuxedo cat, and apparently tuxedos are very popular in our community. It likes to hang out right here, so we're gonna have to see if it actually will come and find the food and is going to be our most frequent guest and visitor. We might have to figure out some sort of cool name for it. So the cat is still sitting next to our like little water tank. So I'm assuming this is just going to be our water tank friend who likes to live there during the day. He likes to watch me as I go back and forth in our little kitchen and in our little living room here, and he'll watch me go past all of the windows. So I'm just going to see how long he stays there, but I'm actually grabbing some orange juice, and this is what orange juice here in Taiwan looks like, in case you guys are wondering. We got it from iVegan, and it has all of the same things, the same markings of like when it goes expired. It's clearly orange juice, 100%, obviously 100% orange juice, I hope. I'm making a lot of assumptions, but it's just really interesting to me how it's pretty much the same. It's a carton of orange juice. I know what's in it. I know how to drink this. It's very reassuring that things are so similar in a lot of ways. Guys, today is the day of the roof cats. We have a little bit of a roof cat showdown. We've got our tuxedo down here, and we were wondering, oh, Tuxie, why aren't you going for the food? It's right there. And we could see it sniff, sniff, sniffing. But then, up top, if you follow its gaze, you can see there's the orange tabby on top of the little like roof entrance to our apartment. And it's watching, staring down at the tuxedo. And we're gonna have to see how this resolves itself. But today is definitely day of the roof cats, and it'll be really interesting to see if the third one suddenly leaps down from the spot it likes to bask on the roof right up there. And the next thing you know, our whole deck will be crawling with cats. I'm not opposed to that. There we go. Tuxie finally found the food. Let's see. And there's no sight of where apparently Tuxedo's arch nemesis, the orange tabby, has disappeared to. Ah, ni hao. Ni hao Mao. What are you doing up there, huh? It looks like this orange tabby's favorite spot is up on the roof. It's gonna be fun to get their personalities. Everybody on the vlog channel keeps asking me to turn these guys into warrior cats for our Sims 3 series, and I think I totally am going to do that as a special for the weekend, and I will totally make them into city cat strays that we can run into. That would be awesome. Now I just need to study them enough to get their personalities so I know how to create them. The roof cat saga continues. We have the tuxedo, who has taken up residence next to what I assume is like a water pump or a water tower, and it's hanging around even when we go outside. Doesn't want you near it, but it'll kind of like keep an eye on us, and every time it freezes I'm always looking for like the other roof cats to show up. And Chips just got back with some of the delicious noodles. We've really fallen for these noodles. I think mine is soy sauce based, you said? Sesame based, and these sesame based noodles, this whole dish, like I mentioned in another vlog, look at how much that is. It's just $2, and I ate it for like 3 or 4 meals last time. So we have a few bowls of these noodles now that we're just gonna leave in the fridge so that we have a reliable food source. But I am digging in. It's actually pretty bland, which is really good for me right now because my stomach is definitely like, where are we? And having trouble adjusting. But everything is really, really yummy. So we're eating this. I just finished actually recording the update vlog for the main channel, and it felt really good to get some work for the main channel done. But I'm definitely going to take baby steps with it and just kind of like dip my toes back in very slowly. I don't want to overwork myself, not when we're getting used to all this new adventure. earlier, Chips accidentally scared Boss, who I have nicknamed the orange tabby cat, off of our deck by popping up when Boss was sleeping. And we were worried he wouldn't come back, and I was wondering where on earth could he have gone? And I'm looking out the kitchen window, and right down there, do you see him? Look guys, look. Boss is sleeping down there on the roof below us. How cool is that? He truly is a roof cat. I wonder how he gets all the way from up on top of our like 6th story down to a 1-story building down below. That is so cool, but he's definitely doing just fine. He just found a new place to nap. Guys, I just realized if you look down across the roofs, you can actually find so many roof cats. You can see we've got one here, and if you follow along the roof line, you can actually find there's another one behind those leaves down there, hiding just sprawled across the top of the roof. And then if you keep following along the roof line of all these little spots, there's another one way over there, sprawled down, sleeping on top of the roof. And they are all orange tabby cats, which cracks me up. So I don't think any of these are actually Boss, but I think that Boss may have had something to do with all of these orange tabbies who happen to live in the area. The baby woke up. Alright, go back to sleep, little Kumin. There you go. And then we've got some toast and cheese together from Silver Secret. I didn't need that I egged him, so we're gonna go ahead and have him clean that up. Oh, dang it, Autumn promises cleaning it up. Alright, there's Thistledown with his cool dreadlocks. They have finished the corn. So we're gonna have him come over. There we go. And plant some new corn because I have a little bit of work to keep me busy. Silver Secret needs to continue working on his cooking skills, so I'm gonna have him make... What does he want to eat? He's actually hungry, but everything takes super long, so he'll just have cheese and tomatoes on toast. Autumn Promise is ready to go. You know what? I'll have her work on some toast too. And then we have Kale Spice. His wife is currently working on a quest, watching a documentary for us about real estate. I think I'm gonna have Kale come over and let's let him, well, you know what? More efficient to have him work in the garden. So he's gonna come out and work on some corn for us too. All right, everybody. There you go, guys. I can't wait until I can figure out how to record Sims Freeplay and show off what I am building to all of you. Rowlet, buddy, you look kind of smushed. Oh, look how cute he is. I'm so glad that we brought Rowlet to Taiwan because he makes for a really good cuddle buddy. Alright guys, I think today has been the day of the deck cats. So Chips did accidentally scare Boss away like I mentioned earlier, but it has been really cool to see so many roof cats up on our deck. It's amazing. And then all of the ones that were on the tin roofs in the buildings around us, I did not expect that. It's really fun to be this high up and be able to look down and you just see furry roof cats everywhere, and it really looks like almost all of them are Boss's kids, because other than Noble Lady and other than Bird, who are the two I've named. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys that lots of times by now though. But other than those two, all of them are orange tabbies. So I'm gonna blame that on Boss and say like he has his own little orange tabby cat family that he has spread in this neighborhood. But it's been a really laid back day. Chips and I have actually spent a lot of time just unwinding together. I keep teasing him. Tomorrow he has his first orientation at the National University of Taipei, or Taiwan, I think it is. And he is getting ready, brushing up on his Chinese. I'm really excited for him. I'm really amazed that he had this opportunity. I know I mentioned it offhand in another vlog, but it turns out that this program's really exclusive And he really likes to keep work life and home life separated, which is why we don't really ever put him in the vlogs. He doesn't like to talk in the vlogs. He's just pretty professional about what he does, but even I'm kind of in the dark about some of the things he does. So then he just casually mentions like, yeah, they only accept like 4 students per quarter for the, like, per semester 3 times a year for this program, and he was one of them. And it's like, oh, okay, just drop that bombshell on me while you walk out the door, why don't you? But yeah, so he's going to be working on his Chinese, and he goes in for his first day of orientation tomorrow, which means if this little niggling fever I think I have starting to develop will stay away, tomorrow might be my first day of doing a little bit of work over at my workstation, which I'm super excited about. We've otherwise just been kind of hanging out today, watching the roof cats. We haven't gone anywhere, and I know some of you may be going, come on, you're in Taiwan, aren't you supposed to be doing your adventures? Well, remember, we're here for work. We're not just here so that we can go and play an adventure. We definitely want to do more than we have been doing, but we're trying to take it a little bit easy because this has been really hard on both of our bodies, trying to sync up our sleep schedules, just getting used to the food here, which is delicious, but your body still is kind of like, what's happening when you feed it something new? All of those little things are just, you know, just adjusting. But we will be going on an adventure. This just is different than when we went to Hawaii or when we went to Michigan, where you pack each day full of things to do because you're on vacation. This isn't vacation, this is work. We'll be here for 2.5 months after all, so there will be some days that are a little bit more laid back, but I was really excited to see that even the laid back days, I mean, I get to have roof cats to chase around, and birds, the Japanese fairy wrens landing and allopreening in the bamboo. No, I don't think it's the bamboo, in one of the palm trees out front was so exciting. Chips was just laughing so hard because I was bouncing off the walls like, oh my gosh, Chips, darling, look, it's Japanese fairy wrens. And we had seen Japanese fairy wrens for the first time in Hawaii, and they are so adorable. I didn't know they alloprene, and Chips was really tickled by them because he said they're wannabe hummingbirds, and they really are. So we had a really fun time watching them, and then I managed to do a couple more bird spottings of really common urban birds here in Taiwan that were in the park behind our kitchen. So there's a park behind our kitchen, there's a park out front, there's our like actual porch covered in greenery, and I've had a lot of comments on the vlogs, on the vlog comments from people who have been in Taiwan, are in Taiwan, used to live in Taiwan, have family in Taiwan, who mentioned that Taiwan is very environmentally conscious and friendly, and I'm definitely seeing that. Even here in the heart of the city, in one of the villages, like on the east side of the city, there's greenery everywhere. And when we were walking to Uchacha, was that yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday. Everywhere you looked down the little alleyway, there were plants. Like, if someone found a patch of sunlight, they put a pot with a plant in it, like right there. It was really fascinating because you have these concrete buildings that even a lot of people who live here say are not very attractive to them. They're very ugly buildings, but everywhere there's plants. And I have a really hard time going like, yeah, look at that concrete. Man, just not very attractive looking. Because all I can see are the ferns growing up the side and the trees that are arching on top of some of the buildings. So I'm still tickled because I think it's beautiful since there's so many plants, and also the way that they're just everywhere represents a relationship with the environment and a relationship with nature, and displaying it and integrating it as part of your life that, to me, represent some of the beauty of being here. So I'm happy. So I guess I see the beauty of it because it's not only the fact there is plant, like there is a plant right there, the fact of the plant, but also the relationship between the people and the plants is pretty cool to me. But yeah, anyway, before I ramble on about how much I love plants, I just wanted to remind you guys we are here for work. So there will be some days that are a little bit more laid back and we don't go on adventures, but we do have several fun adventures in mind. We want to go to the gorge when the really intense rain slows down. There's actually been a lot of landslides, a lot of mudslides. The rain that we've experienced in the last 72 hours, I think it's a little bit further back than that now, has been equivalent to the normal rainfall for apparently something like 6 months of rain in Taiwan. So the rain we've experienced, where it's just been like typhoon levels pouring down is apparently extremely unusual, and it's not supposed to happen that way. And so it's caused a lot of problems. I think unfortunately a couple people did get caught up in the rainwater and they ended up drowning, which is very sad. There's been a ton of flooding, so that's kind of put a damper on our exploring too, because we don't want to go out. Even like the National Museum flooded, and there's elementary schools that flooded, so we definitely arrived at a really interesting time, and now is not the time to go and play tourist looking at some of the parks and the botanical garden and those places, because it's been very dangerous with so much rain, and it's really kind of bogged things down. So that's been interesting. I'm really hoping that everyone will be safe and be able to not have the rain hurt anyone else. I just thought it was so beautiful, but then you read like the flooding, and apparently it drove up the price of like vegetables in the vegetable market, which I didn't even know there was a vegetable market, by like 50 to 80%. And apparently there's even like a storehouse where they store frozen vegetables for the vegetable market, so if those prices spike like that, they'll be able to pull the frozen vegetables out to provide to people, to make sure that people can still afford their food. I've had kind of been thinking of the night markets as a little bit more of like kind of like going to a mall in America, I guess, like a perk, an extra, something that you do to if you have a little bit of spending money. But the markets here are much more in tune with the vital daily life that a lot of people live. Popping by the market isn't like, oh, I'm gonna go to the mall and maybe get a pretzel or something like that. It's much more like, I need to feed my family for the next day, so I'm gonna go pick up stuff from the fruit market or the vegetable market. So that was really interesting. We've been reading a lot of the daily news for the area to try to understand how the city thinks a little bit, how the people here live a little bit. It's respectful, and it's also really insightful, and it's been really fun. But yeah, today's been another laid back day. There will be laid back days. We do plan adventures, just we need to wait for the typhoon rain to ease up. It's only rained a little bit today. We also plan on going to see really fun things, not only the gorge, but we want to go and we want to take the bullet train. Chips really wants to take business class on the bullet train just once. He has had his heart set on that since before we even knew we were coming here for sure. I have no idea why. Maybe it's just like a thing that people who are really into technology absolutely adore, but that's on the agenda of things to do over time. Botanical gardens for sure. He's desperate when the mosquitoes go down a little bit, when the rain eases up, because I'm apparently mosquito bait. He is desperate to get me over to the bird blinds that they have at the botanical gardens, and there's baby egrets over at a local park nearby within walking distance. So we're gonna go and look at those guys. The world's first cat cafe is here in Taipei, and so we are going to go and we are going to visit the world's first cat cafe. I think it's called something like Coffee and Cats. I want to just look around at all the cool shops. I want to look at the details of things. I get a giggle off of just seeing like the English, which is actually not English compared to some of the things I've seen in Japan. The English is just like right on grammatically normal here. Because English, I mean, if we start looking at something for too long, a clerk will come up and just talk to us in perfect English. So it's very globalized, a very globalized city. And if they don't speak English, they know enough to like just get the message across. Chips, bless his heart, is bound by contract to use as much Chinese as possible for his program. So whenever they start speaking English, then you want to be thankful and you want to be like, oh, thanks so much for making the effort to talk to me in a language that I understand and that you have taken the time to learn. But he's actually contractually bound to, if he can, only reply in Chinese. So then there's this like awkward moment where he has to like forcefully stick on Chinese even though this person is talking to us in English. And so I'll sometimes like lean in a little bit because he had to sign a contract that that's what he would do. So it's a little bit interesting, but I think people around here are used to that for the university, because other than just kind of like tilting their head a little bit, they just take it and move on. But it's been interesting. I insisted on him looking up what porcupine is. That's my way of helping him study. I'll all of a sudden be like, darling, hey darling, what's giraffe? And it's something like long neck mule or something like that. I can't remember, but it made us both laugh. And so last night I was like sprawled out in the bed and I was like, I wonder what porcupine is. So I poked him, I'm like, darling, what's porcupine? And he's looking at me like, why would I need to know porcupine? And I told him, hey, I'm just helping you study. So we looked it up, and it's like spiky pig or something along those lines, or like a large-bodied pig. It depends on which translation you want to go with. So I got a giggle out of that. I'm helping with all the important things. I keep being like, darling, darling, what's kitten? How do I say that's a cute kitten? Darling, how do I tell someone their dog is cute when we're walking on the street? There's a lot of dogs here on leashes, by the way. A lot of dogs. But I'll let you guys go because I've rambled for a bit. But that's kind of just where we're at right now. We may not leave the apartment every single day for big adventures because we're here to work, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. Once Chip starts his Chinese classes, he's going to have 4 hours of intensive study on campus and come home and have hours of intensive study here at home before we can even think about trying to go to the flower and jade market, or even think about trying to go to the botanical garden. We'll have weekends to be able to adventure, and we intend to utilize them as much as possible, and it's just kind of a waiting game to see when our bodies complete the adjustment to being here and to see what his classes are going to demand of him. And then of course I have the main channel to take care of too. It has definitely been a much needed retreat from working on the main channel for the last week. I'm glad I had at least like one video go out most days. But holy moly days, guys, if you are a creative worker like I am and you have to put something out kind of like I do on the main channel, do not demand your normal amount of work from yourself after traveling internationally, please. I'm really grateful to you guys here on the vlog channel for letting me know that I could take some time off. It's okay, because I definitely needed it. But alright, I'm rambling. I'm just happy to see you guys. I have had a fun time being able to see some birds and cats today, and we'll have to see if we get up to anything tomorrow. I suspect we'll probably end up staying home again tomorrow. Not to put a damper on everybody's eagerness to see the adventures, just do remember we're here because we're here to study, and we're here to work, on his part at least. And I'm here because I didn't want to be parted from the love of my life, which, apologies, Rel, it's not you. It's actually Chips. So, just that quick reminder, and I hope you guys enjoy the cats, and we'll have to see as boss and noble lady and birds personalities, birds out there right now actually, begin to come to the forefront a little bit more. We'll have to see what we're going to do with maybe making them in The Sims 3, because they're highly requested already. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.